Yes.
Thank you so much, Felicia. My name is Joy McDonnell, and we also have Kesley Anderson, who is going to be your primary instructor today, as well as Lindsay Bello, who is going to join me on the Q&A side of the class. Today's class is called Hello Cricut. So we would like to welcome all of you to an introduction to Cricut and to Cricut cutting machines. Kesley has a great presentation set up so that you can learn all about the machines. Our intention today is to teach you about the machines and teach you about what each machine does, because we know choosing the right machine for your hobbies can be a little bit challenging and can feel overwhelming. So we want you to definitely use the Q&A portion of this class so that you can ask both Lindsay and I as many questions as you need. And Kesley will be introducing you to everything. So Kesley, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great kickoff to their week. And Joy, that was a great introduction. Thank you. And Felicia, you too. Great job. We're going to start off with a slide presentation to give you sort of like the big picture of everything Cricut. And then I have 3 different machines set up to share with you. And we've got the last bit of the class set aside to actually show you a project, kind of how it works, how to put it all together, and give it some last minute questions that you might need answers to. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I'll share my screen with you all. And let me get my slides going. Now, if you do have questions along the way, please do pop them in the Q&A section. Joy and Lindsay are there and they'll feed questions over to me as they can. And then and they'll also answer questions directly to you. So that's a great way to see the comments and the questions answered. So I love this phrase from Dr. Brene Brown. We are born makers. We move what we're learning from our heads to our hearts through our hands. I really feel like that encompasses my working with the design space system into the Cricut Smart Cutting Machines. Each person is unique and each person is trying to create something unique and something new and something different and special for you. So what is a solution for one person might not be a solution for another person. And that's why we're here today, to give you the answers to your questions about what's the perfect solution for you. But what we'd really like to know is we want to know a little bit about you. Can you just drop in the chat what you hope to learn from this class today? What your questions, not questions necessarily yet, but like, what do you want to know? What questions do you have as you're approaching picking out your Cricut machine? And so Joy and Lindsay are going to kind of go through that and make sure that we get those questions answered for you. So we're here to introduce you to Cricut and the smart cutting machines. And I have to tell you all, there's so much information that I do have some notes in front of me just to make sure that I get everything shared with you as we go along. We really want to know how we can best help you. And so interacting in the Q&As with us will definitely make sure that we're hitting all the right questions for you. In this class, I'm hoping to demystify the process of selecting the right machine for your maker needs and share with you the possibilities of what you can create with a Cricut Smart Cutting Machine. So I love this question, who should have a smart cutting machine? And my answer to that is everybody who crafts. The Cricut Smart Cutting Machines, in a broad sense, can help you design and customize almost anything. You can cut hundreds of materials and you can write and draw with a Cricut machine. But if you're not familiar with what a Cricut cutting machine is, let me share with you. Sorry, let me get my slides going. There we go. Oh. Let me share with you a little bit about the family. So I sort of answer the cocktail party pitch about what do you do? What is a Cricut cutting machine? It basically allows you to create an image or design on your computer and then send that design to a machine. You can think of the Cricut machine sort of like a printer, except instead of printing your design, the Cricut machine cuts it out of whatever material you want to make your projects faster and more fun. Now, we can't tell you everything it cuts out, but please know that as the machines grow, they do expand on their abilities to cut. So I can get a little bit passionate about my Cricuts, and when I create with them, I think everyone should have a Cricut machine, but finding the right machine for you is our goal today. So let's talk a little bit about the family of Cricut cutting machines. The first machine over here on the left is the Cricut Joy. This machine is small and compact. It has it's like your +1 as your RSVP to a party. It can go with you anywhere. You can create everything, cards, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. And we'll kind of go into each machine a deeper dive as we go along. But I kind of think as the Cricut Joy as my +1 machine. Then you have the Cricut Explore Air 2, and this is our most popular machine. So this machine can cut over 100 different materials. It is has a 12-inch footprint, and it's just a very user-friendly machine. And then we have the Cricut Maker family of machines. Now, the Cricut Maker family of machines is a little bit more intense because of the way that it's fabricated and the different tools that you can use with the Cricut Maker. And that's really what differentiates it from the Explorer Air and the Joy machine. So why don't we start off talking about the Cricut Joy? Oh, forgot. We added 2 machines this summer to our family. We added the Cricut Explore 3 and the Cricut Maker 3. So Cricut Joy is the cutest little machine. It's a small cutting machine. So it's small, it's simple, it's compact. It allows you to personalize, to organize, and customize. The key features of the Cricut Joy is it weighs about 4 pounds, 3.9 pounds to be exact. It's small enough to fit into a cubby. You can tuck it into a backpack. If you're going away for a weekend of crafting with your friends, it can just go right along with you. The Cricut Joy cuts over 50 materials, including iron-on, cardstock, vinyl, paper, and the Cricut Joy Smart Materials. The Cricut Joy was our first machine to work with smart materials, and it can cut shapes as long as 4 feet long, and you can do repeat cuts, so you can cut up to 20 feet of vinyl. That's when you're using smart materials. Now, the Cricut Joy is compatible with the Joy Smart Materials, and what the Smart Materials allows a user to do is use a machine without a cutting mat. So you can slide your material right into the machine, no cutting mat, you just load and go. And that's really part of the beauty of the Cricut Joy and its simplicity and how beautiful it works. The Cricut Joy also has a unique app just for the Cricut Joy, geared around projects. Projects are designs that are literally ready to go at a touch of a button. So if you want to make a card or a t-shirt or organize your kitchen spices, you can find a project for that on the Cricut Joy app. So here are some of the different projects that we created with the Cricut Joy. It's the middle project here uses the Cricut Joy cutting mat and allows you to slide a pre-folded card onto the cutting mat, and we'll cut out the design like this congrats card here. It's literally a lifesaver. When you're headed out, things have gotten crazy, you have to go to that birthday party and you forgot a card, you can make a card in under 2 minutes. So it's a great little tool there. It's also wonderful for labeling things around the house. These little flour, oats, and sugar jars used vinyl and a text font to label the jars, whereas the paper clips and the pencils and pens labels were done with a pen and our writable vinyl. You can even customize your iPad cases, your phone cases, anything around the house that you need to say, hey, this is Johnny's and not Steve's. Keep your devices separate. You can label those items. So let's talk about the Explore. Actually, before we move on, Joy and Lindsay, let me know if there are any questions that people have about the Cricut Joy that I could answer.
So far, what I've seen in our chat so far is that some folks have the Cricut Joy and they want to know a little bit more about it.
Okay.
And I think that they just want to know the basics, and they want to know, especially with Cricut Joy, what are each of the machines? What are they about? What can they do? So I think you're covering it. You're doing a great job.
All right. One thing I do want to mention about the Cricut Joy, one reason why I love it, and the portability of it with using the Cricut Joy app or the Design Space app. Cricut Joy is the only device that does not hook up to your desktop or laptop with a wire. It is all Bluetooth, which makes it great. It makes it more user-friendly when you're traveling with it. So that's one feature I like about the Cricut Joy. And I also want to mention, while we're talking about the Cricut Joy, is that it does have the single tool holder, which you interchange with the fine point blade and pen. So that's a little bit different than the other machines as we go along. But the Cricut Joy it does have its own unique app on the App Store. It can also work with Design Space. So you're not limited to what's on the Cricut Joy app. The Cricut Joy app just makes it so easy to go in and create something, name tags, whatever you need on the quick, you can do in the Cricut Joy app. But then if you want to get more creative, you have Design Space app for that. So I always forget to mention that you can interchange between the two. So the Explore family of machines, this is a great machine that will meet most everyone's crafting wants. With the Explore Air 2, you can cut a variety of materials. You can use it for paper crafting, for t-shirts, for stickers, school projects. It is the machine for you if you're doing your basic crafting crafting projects. It really helps make your projects go faster, which always makes it more fun. So how does it make it go faster? Well, by one, you're not using scissors and hand cutting things out. You don't have to trace anything to cut out designs. The system all works together to do all of the heavy lifting for you, so you have more time for crafting. The Explore Air is our most popular machine. And right here, this is a picture of the Explore Air. So you notice that the Explore Air has the dial, which makes it easy to custom set on the materials you're using. If you just want to rotate the dial, you pick what materials you're using and you're good to go. You do have a custom setting, so you can use all the different materials. I think there's probably about 10 or 12 materials listed on the dial. But if you're doing something that's not on the dial, you can go into Design Space and select that material. Now the Cricut Joy, you'll notice, let's look at this a little bit more. The Cricut Joy, the Cricut Explore Air 2 does have two tool holders. So you have an A tool holder, and this will hold your pens and your stylus tool. And then you have the B side of the tool, which will hold your blades. So your fine point blade, your deep cut blade, and your fabric blade are all held into there. You do have a spot over here to hold your tools and your open device button here, as well as this is the dial I was mentioning on this side, where you can turn the dial and select your materials. So the Cricut Explore Air 2 cuts a 12 by 12 or 12 by 24 size. It works with our cutting mats, and you're limited to the size of the cutting mat to your cutting dimension. So let's see some of the things you can create with the Cricut Explore. You can do vinyl, iron-on vinyl, like this beautiful shirt here's, and it's bigger. So where the Cricut Joy cuts 4.5 inches, if I have that right, the Cricut Joy is 4.5 inches and the Explore is 11.5 inches. So you can create larger designs on the Explore. It also works with regular vinyl. It works with your paper, infusible ink, and the combination of paper and print. Now, with the Explore Air 2, making stickers is so popular. You can use all the Explore and the Maker machines to print stickers and then cut them. So let's talk about the Cricut Explore 3. It's fast, it's simple, it's amazing. It should be the next Avengers character. Some key features on the Cricut Explore 3 are it's compatible with our smart materials. So smart materials feed directly into the machine without a cutting mat. You just load them in and you go. You can use smart materials on the Explore 2. You just need to use the mat when you're cutting those materials out. The Cricut Explore 3 cuts up to 12 feet of material. So this is great if you're doing a whole bunch of t-shirts for the softball team or the bowling crew. You need to cut out the same design repeatedly. You can use the smart materials and cut up to 12 feet of a design. Using smart materials, it cuts up to 2 times faster than the regular Explore. So you can process your projects through quickly. And if you've got a little side hustle, then that's going to be really important to you. The Cricut Explorers cut over 100 different materials. So you have your Joy, which cuts 50 different materials, and the Cricut Explore family cuts over 100 different materials. And that's really from changing out your blades. You can add more materials that you can cut. So let me review those blades again while we're here. You have the deep point blade, the bonded fabric blade, a scoring stylus, the foil transfer tool, and the writing tools. Which leads me into the next feature. The Explore 3 can write, it can draw, and it can score. So you can write out all your wedding addresses on your Explore 3, invitations, cards for kids. If you're a teacher, what a hand saver. It does retail for $2.99 is the MSRP on that. And let's take a little bit of a closer look at the Explore 3. So again, let's zoom in on the dual clamps here. So you have clamp A, just like Explore 2, which holds your stylus and your writing tools. And then you have clamp B, which holds your cutting tools. Now, if you are currently using a Cricut Explore 2, and maybe you're thinking about upgrading to a 3, or you're thinking about adding a new machine to your family, you can use the same tools from your Explore 2 on your 3. We've added this great little ledge here because they are Bluetooth capable. You can design right from an iPad on your machine and cut right to your machine using the Bluetooth features. And as you scroll across the top, you notice we've removed the dial here, and all of your material choices are done through Design Space. We've also gone to some universal, I think I have another image that'll show you better, the universal buttons on the top of your machine. There we go. So these are the universal buttons. You've got your power on, your load, your play, and your stop button. Reminds me of a boombox I had in the 80s. And then as we slide across, you'll notice that you have a dual tool holder and your tab for opening your machine. So let's talk about all the different things that you can create on your Explore. Using vinyl, you can create designs on mugs, t-shirts, paper, your wall art. Your possibilities are absolutely endless. I love this with the Explore 3 being able to cut large designs uninterrupted. You can create wall art and your signs for your greetings, all really big. That's what I think about, like the Explore 3 and the Maker 3, it's like you can just go big with those machines. So let's talk now about the Maker machines. Oh, any questions before I go on?
No, I think you're doing a great job of introducing each of the machines. A lot of people are very curious about each machine. So
Right.
you're telling them all the right stuff.
All right. I do get often asked when, believe it or not, I'll be shopping at Michael's and someone will say, do you know anything about these machines? And I was like, oh, you asked the wrong person. I can talk your ear off. But what are the key differences between the Explore 2 and the Explore 3? It's a technology innovation. So if the Explore 3, the advantages of the Explore 3 over the 2 are in the speed, the cut length, and the being able to cut without a mat using smart materials. So those are the key differences. They're awesome machines, and they really are our most popular machines. If you're not thinking about cutting, actually, let me go back and show my little machine here. If you're not thinking about, you don't have a cutting long designs or working in bulk, is the Explore 2 a good machine for you? And yes, the Explore 2 will be perfect for your needs. The Explore 3 does allow you to cut those longer designs. But if you're not planning on doing that, then the Explore 2 is a great option for you. But now let's talk about the Maker. The more tools and more possibilities with the Maker. So let's talk about some of the key features on the Maker machine. So the key features on the Maker are, it cuts over 300 different materials. And it does that because you have more blades to choose from, and it has a little bit more force in the cutting power. So the blades are done in a quick swap tool casing. So it allows you to quickly switch between a scoring, engraving, a debossing, and other decorative effects that you can do with the blades. I always think of this DIY freedom. I love that. You can virtually make any project with the Maker machine. It really does give you the freedom, and it's a machine that will grow with you. So maybe you're not quilting, using your machine to cut out your quilting blocks, or you're using your machine to cut out fabric, but it's something that's in the back of your mind and it's something you want to try, and you think like, that's where my creative path is leading me, then the Maker might be the right machine for you. So here's some, let me just check my notes because I feel like I missed something. Okay, so I do have to tell you, the Maker is really is my machine that I use the most. It's the ultimate cutting machine for me, because I know no matter what material I'm putting in there, when I match it with the right blade, I'll get just a perfect cut. The Maker also lets you do, it cuts fabric, you can cut leather with it. It does all the basic materials that you get from the Explore or the Joy, like the vinyl, iron-on, paper. You can do all of that on the Maker. What you can't do on the Explore that you can do on the Maker is things like the balsa wood, straight up fabric, and doing leather materials like this. The engraving is another feature that you can only do with the Maker family. So now the Maker 3 comes out. It is powerful, it's versatile, and it really is revolutionary. When we started with the Maker 3, when I started working with the Maker 3, I had to ask myself, does this really cut faster than my Maker that I used? And I was amazed. I cut about, I think it was about 12 t-shirt designs for my family, pretty intricate designs. And I cut 12 designs in 15 minutes, and I timed it out. I just wanted to see how it worked. And it really is faster than your than the Cricut Maker. Part of what makes it faster is using the smart materials. So we keep talking about smart materials, and we'll go into more detail about those because they really are a revolutionary product for your cutting machine without having to transfer my vinyl onto a mat each time I wanted to cut a t-shirt design. It really did speed up the process of my cutting. Now, with the Cricut Maker, you do have the same compatibility with over 300 different materials. It will work with the smart materials that allows you to cut 12 feet in just one go. You can put your material in there and cut 12 feet. So it's exciting. It does cut 2 times faster than the Maker when you're using smart materials. And it does have the same housing with the quick swap tools that the Maker has. So if you have a Maker and you're considering upgrading to a Maker 3, all your tools will work back and forth. Same with your cutting mats. They work across the different machines. So again, with the Maker 3 and having all that length of material to work with, you again can do some pretty exciting designs. I love the application in the cubbies, your street signs. You can work with materials, the vinyls, the iron-ons, and take a peek at this upper picture here. These cards, these were made using the perforation tool. That's a quick swap tool, the perforation blade. So the cards as they're made are just solid cards with a perforated design to it that allows somebody to take a tab and open it up. So totally underused. I do not use this design enough, the perforation blade enough, but it's really a fun one when you can use it. So how does it all come together? Okay, so that, you know what, before I move on, Joy, I just want to make sure before I move on, I answer any lingering questions about, this is a good spot to kind of pause and answer questions about maybe somebody has materials, which machine is right for them or anything like that.
So we have lots of questions that surround like which machine is right for me. So I'm hoping that your introduction to each of those machines is addressing those questions for everybody. I think there are, as we go through, because you have a demonstration set up, and you have some little projects to show. I think that will help folks understand how something comes from a library of digital designs and actually comes out through the machine.
Yes, that's what we're going to go through next.
Yes. So there are lots of people who say, I just want to know it all.
Don't we all?
Yeah. So I think you're heading down the right path. If anybody has a question that we have not answered through the Q&A, please feel free to put that into the Q&A and we'll keep getting those over to Kesley.
Great. Awesome. So a couple of questions I do get asked about the Maker is, what happened to the Maker 2? There's a Maker and a Maker 3. So what happened to the Maker 2? Did it like just get kicked out of the family? And the answer is no. To bring all the machines up to the same generation, we skipped the Maker 2 and went from Maker to Maker 3. I love that question. Let's see. And I think for me, the big thing for me was selecting which machine I used the most, was the sewing feature for me and the cutting material, because I do sew, and that was a nice feature for me. And then once I got the Maker for that, I was like, oh, I can engrave and I can emboss and I can use this perforation blade, and let me just explore everything. But what we want to go into next is, how does it all come together? So hopefully by now you either have a lot more questions and we're getting to answer those. You also may be wondering, well, how does it all work? What makes it all come together? And so from the machines to using Design Space on an app, the different tools that are available to you and the different materials, it all comes together in the Cricut ecosystem. And Cricut offers these complementary products for makers to use together. The purpose of the ecosystem is to simplify your lives by providing products that have been tested and work well together. These products connect with each other, which makes them more powerful and valuable for you. So what does that really mean? Cricut has thought of almost every aspect of you as a maker and being able to make. And it all starts with the machine that you choose. So whichever machine that you choose, you need to have a back-end system to make your machine work. And that comes in either using a device like a tablet, a phone. Let's see, I think I have them pasted out here. You can use a laptop or desktop, a tablet and a phone, and any device that you want to use. The only device that is not compatible with Cricut is a Chromebook. So any other device you can use with Cricut Design Space. And what is Design Space? Design Space is the back end of your Cricut ecosystem. So when you think about Design Space, it's the software behind the hardware. And it gives you a platform where you can be super creative, or you can just create. And so what do I mean by that? So there's really no limitations on what you can do. If you want to use Design Space and create your own designs, you absolutely can do that. If you want to use designs that Cricut has available for you to use, you can do that too. So from start to expert, we have you covered. Design Space will be a piece of software or an app that you put on your device, and it works in a cloud-based system. So if you're on a tablet or a phone, you download Design Space as an app. And if you're on a desktop or laptop, it's a piece of software. Now, it works in conjunction with Cricut Access. And Cricut Access is a library of content, fonts, and projects that are there for you to work with. Now, if you have your own designs or you use a different piece of software to design, then you can just upload your designs, and you may not need to have a Cricut Access plan. The Cricut Access plans are really there for you to use for your creativity. You don't have to pay for anything. Design Space is absolutely free. The Cricut Access is what you pay for, and included in Cricut Access are probably, I think we're up to 200,000 different images in Cricut Access, as well as 500 fonts, and new projects are being added every day, but there's literally thousands of projects that you can use. And then you have some other perks and benefits to Cricut Access to explore. So no matter which bucket you fit into, whether you're super creative, you're already using outside software to make your creations, and you just need to use Design Space to communicate with your machine, we've got you there. If you are just getting started with this creative aspect of your life, and you're like, I just want to make it exactly how somebody else made it, we've got you covered there with the Cricut Access Premium. So let's talk about, so that's the part of the ecosystem starts with the machine you select, using Design Space and Cricut Access. And then we have all these materials to use. So Smart Materials are our latest materials that we came out this summer with. It requires no cutting mat. You just load it into your machine and you're ready to go. It cuts up to 12 feet, and we have Smart Materials that work with Cricut Joy, Explore 3, and Maker 3. So some of the different Cricut Smart Materials are removable vinyl, which removable vinyl allows you to be creative and change and do something in that same space. So you can apply vinyl to something and then remove it and apply something else. So I think of removable vinyl like my Christmas decorations or Halloween decorations. They're here for a while, and then I take it off and I do something else. Permanent vinyl will last and last and last. It's water resistant and UV resistant. It lasts up to 3 years. and it's perfect outdoors. I actually have things that I've done with permanent vinyl outside that have been there since 2018 because they have a date on it. So I know how long it's been there. In conjunction with your vinyl, you'll use transfer tape, and transfer tape was designed to move the project from the backing, from the vinyl backing to your project blank. So it's great for positioning your designs. We also have iron-on vinyl, and this is something you cut out and you can apply to so many different blanks. You can use fabric, wood, you can do it on clothing garments that are like sewn up, or you can sew your own. I'm trying to think of like the craziest place I've used iron-on vinyl, and I'll think about it, but I know I've used it in places you wouldn't think to have used it. And then we also have infusible ink, which is a heat transfer system that allows the design to be permanently infused into your base material. So you don't feel the vinyl, it goes right, it soaks right into the material, whether it's a ceramic mug or a pillowcase. It just soaks right into there, and it literally is permanent, lifetime lasting. And the machine you use to do all that are the Cricut heat presses, the Easy Press. Now, the Cricut Easy Press makes it easy because it comes in a lot of different sizes, from the mini press all the way up to a big, I think 12-inch press. And it works on fabrics, on your woods, on your canvas, all kinds of different surfaces you can use the Cricut Easy Press. Okay, and then also the last part of the Cricut ecosystem are our classes. And Michaels, we work with Michaels to offer new classes all the time, as well as some consistent classes. So once you've selected your machine and you're ready to get going, we have a design space orientation class. We have an actions in design space, which is like a deeper dive. And once you've mastered those two classes, we offer project-based classes, and we have some pretty fun ones coming up for that throughout the year. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen there and take us into design space. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. I'm going to go right into design space. So when you get your machine home, we do have an unboxing video that will walk you through how to unbox your machine, no matter which machine you get, how to unbox it, how to set it up, how to make your design space ID. You do get a 30-day free trial of Cricut Access, and I recommend you use the heck out of that to really make sure that if you wanted to do a Cricut Access plan or not. And then you load on Design Space onto your desktop, laptop, or device. I do find I use my desktop most often because I do have a dedicated craft space. But when I'm crafting with my daughter and she pulls out her Cricut Joy, we use her phone. So that's kind of fun. So here we are in Design Space, the home screen here, and I'm going to start a new project. Let's see. I'm going to cancel that and go to my canvas because I have half of my project already started. So here's a design that I picked out of Cricut Access Image Library. And I want to add a little pumpkin to this design. So let me show you how easy it is to go into the image library, find an image and bring it onto your canvas and then cut it. So when I'm on my canvas and I want to find an image, I just click over here to find an image, and I can search in all the different images that are available. So there's 150,000 Cricut images that are available, but I think that number's increased since they last updated that. So let's say I'm working on something, my Hello Pumpkin, and I want a pumpkin image. So I type in a keyword of pumpkin. And we do all of this in our Cricut Design Space Orientation, which we have a class this afternoon for. So you might want to jump on that registration. So you can find all different kinds of pumpkins, and you can scroll down and see how many different pumpkins are available. And there really are your unlimited number of pumpkins that are available here. Some of them are for drawing, some of them are for cutting, some of them do print then cut. So you really have so many different options. And if you want to narrow down your search, you certainly can do that. Like if I want to do a cute pumpkin design, I could do that and grab that pumpkin and bring that pumpkin onto my canvas. Now I do have Cricut access, so I don't have to pay anything to use this pumpkin. It comes with my Cricut access, and I just bring it onto my canvas. There we go. And I can resize it and change it so that it'll fit on my design how I'd like it to be. And so this is where, like, if you're new to designing and new to creating, it's so nice that that pumpkin is there. I can pull it over and make whatever I like, however I want to use it on my project. So my Hello pumpkin is done out of a nice yellowy color, and I want to do my pumpkin out of an orange. So once I've put that design onto my canvas, I just go to the Make It button and I make my design. Now I do need to turn my machine on. I'll be using Smart Materials to show you how that works. So I'll be working without a mat. And there's my pumpkin on my cut mat. And I just hit continue. And it finds my machine. I do have my machine is wired onto my desktop, but if I had my Bluetooth on, then it could just grab it through my Bluetooth. Here you can select your material, and if I browse all the materials that are available, these are all the Smart Materials that pop up. But there's a list of over 300 different materials that you can select from if you're on a Maker, or over 100 materials if you're on an Explore. So I've selected my material and it does everything for me. This is where the smart part comes in. So Cricut has tested all the different materials in their system, and they know exactly the right amount of pressure, the speed to cut the design with, and that's all pre-programmed already in my design space. So when Design Space sends the image over to my machine, all that information goes with it, and it tells the machine, I'm cutting it out of permanent vinyl, use this much pressure, go at this speed, and cut out this design. And that's all it needs to do. So I've got my fine point blade in, and I can go over to my machine and cut it. So I actually have it ready to share with you guys. Let me just change my camera angle. Here we go. So this is the design that I've started. It says Hello Pumpkin, and I cut this out of this yellow vinyl. So the Smart Vinyl does come in these boxes, and if you're using Cricut Joy, you have smaller vinyl, so it will fit into your machine, and then your Explore and your Maker vinyl is a bigger vinyl. And if you're using just regular Cricut vinyl, you can use this vinyl on a mat in the Explore 3 or the Explore. And you can use your Smart Vinyl on your, you can definitely use it on your Explore 2. You just put it on your mat. So you kind of lose out on that flexibility of the length of it, but you can definitely use it, and the colors are fun to work with. So here I'm going to open up my machine. So all your machines you would open up like this. I wish it had like some music that played when you opened it. And we take out our vinyl. Now all of the vinyl has grids pre-printed on the back and the type of vinyl you're using on the back. So you've got, if you take it off the roll, you cut off the roll or something like that, it's always right there. To load your Smart Vinyl in, you just pop it in underneath the guides on the side, when you're ready, you hit the button and it pulls it in and measures it and make sure you have enough material to cut your project, which I do. And since I'm just doing a little project, I didn't put my roll holder on my machine, but if I were doing a longer project, I would use my roll holder on my machine. But mine's a little pumpkin today, so I didn't do that. Okay, and then you just unload your machine, your material, and I can see that I've cut out my pumpkin here. And I'm just going to go ahead and use an X-Acto knife. Or it's actually not an X-Acto knife, it's my Cricut knife. So I'm going to use my Cricut knife and just, I can use normally I would use my paper trimmer, but it's sort of across the room today. So we'll just go like this and slice this across. So it's really easy. The material is super easy to work with. All vinyls are. I just use my weeding tool, and weeding is taking out or removing the material that you don't want on your design. So I'm just going to carefully pull off or weed the material that I don't want to transfer on my design. So this part of my design, I do want to add onto my my finished design here. So I'm going to tuck that aside and grab just a little corner of my transfer tape here. Using my blade, okay. And oh, I love this little feature. All the machines have this little drawer underneath to hold your blades and your tools, which is super fun. So you'll never lose anything. Then you just take your transfer tape we were talking about earlier. So this is a permanent vinyl, and I'm just using a transfer tape here to take my pumpkin off of my backing. And I'm just going like this, using a little wedge. You can use a credit card or something like that, just to kind of burnish it in there and make sure it's going to stick. And then when I remove it off of the vinyl background, what I want it to do is come onto my transfer tape. And I normally would cut my piece off. I probably should do that anyway, but I thought it could be easier. You just put my tool away. Let me just cut out my cut this off so I can weed it easier. Weeding is definitely, I do enjoy doing the weeding because I can just sit there and watch television or something. If I have a big project I'm weeding out, it's super easy. Okay, so here we go. This is how I would normally do it. And you just take the design off the backing and you just kind of rotate it around like this and have it come right off for you. I do like to bend my backing paper because I'm just going to discard this when I'm done. So I do kind of like to give it a good bend, helps get it off. And if it doesn't want to come off, you just grab your weeding tool and you just give it a little hold down right there. And it'll come right off. Yep. Okay. So then once you've got your designs cut out and everything, you're ready to apply it to your blank, whatever you're making. So I just have this bucket. I thought this would be really cute to put treats in at the door. So I just take my vinyl off like so. So again, I just roll it back. And if you're free to join us in our 101 class today, we do make a project. So you get to watch us. You can craft along with us, or make it for later or just follow along and learn. So you just pop it on. And the grid lines on the transfer tape are great to help make sure you've got it lined up. So we'll just pull this off. Your transfer tape you can reuse when you're working with vinyl, and you don't need transfer tape on iron-on. So if you're using iron-on materials in the Cricut world, you don't need transfer tape. You only need that when you're using vinyl like this. So then I'll just add my pumpkin right on here. And there we go. Now I've taken a bucket and decorated it with a very fun saying, very seasonal, and I'm ready to start crafting more things. So Joy, what, I think how many more? We have about 5 minutes left, and I do have my Explore 3 and my Maker set up. If you would like to, take a look at any of that, or if there's any burning questions people have.
We have been answering all kinds of questions. If you have your camera on your Air 2, on your Cricut Joy.
Okay.
Would you mind just showing the Cricut Joy and maybe talking a little bit about the cards and the smart material that goes through that machine? Because I think those are unique and we didn't get a chance to really talk about them yet.
Yes. So the Cricut Joy, I have it here set up, and I'm going to kind of be from behind. But like I said before, this is the smart material vinyl is cut for the Cricut Joy in the Cricut Joy size. And it really does do those very long cuts I was talking about. So all this was done on a 4-foot piece of vinyl. So great. I love that for like teachers or nursery or something like that. And you don't need your mat. So it really is quick and easy. The cards are super fun. So there's sets of blanks, and you have this special pad that you work with. And what this does is you take your blank card. So like, let's say this, was your blank card, and you slide it into the card mat like this. And then you select the card you're making. And when I do cards, I definitely do the Cricut Joy app. But you select your card like that and you put it in, and it cuts your card so that when you take it out of the machine, let's say you were doing the thank you card, it cuts this design out, and then you add your extra piece of paper in the back to give it that color. And you just tuck it in those 4 corners. Now you can use your other vinyls in the Cricut Joy. It's not just the smart vinyl that you can use in there. And then you would use this little mat to cut out other, using other types of vinyl. You would use just your Cricut mat. And then there are Cricut Joy pens. So if you're looking at the Cricut Joy as a solution, the pen holder, you just open this up and you put a pen tip in there. So your blades are different than the Explore or the Maker, and you put your pen in there, and it will draw on your material. Cricut Joy does have its own pen system, which are different than the Explore and the Maker pens.
Kesley, do you think you could switch over to your Explore or Maker and show us where the pens and the blades go?
Absolutely. Why don't we do the Maker, because then I can really show you the gears.
Excellent.
So I will spotlight that one. Let me add that one. Okay, so this is the Maker machine here. And the Maker has the 2 different pen holders.
Oh, Kesley, it didn't flip to that spotlight yet.
Oh. Let's see, maybe I need Felicia.
Perfect.
Oh, is it there? Okay. So it has the 2 different holders, where the Cricut Joy just has the one. So you have to use the same clamp for the pen. What is great about the Cricut Maker and the Explore is that you can take your pen and you put your pen into the clamp. So it's got a little arrow on it, and you just put it in there and push it down. And oh, it's not, my machine's not plugged in. This would pop back up. Sorry, I don't have my machine turned on. This would pop back up, and you would you'd close it up. When you send a design that has a draw and a cut, you don't have to do anything. It just draws the design and then it goes over and does the cut. Now, what I love about the Maker are the different blades that you have to choose from. So this fine point blade here is the same blade that goes in the Explorer. So that's the same blade that you would use in the Explorer. If you look in the Maker, it works with a gear system. And this is what allows you, I have all my blades, different blades here, but you can use the rotary blade for your fabric, and you just put it in. And the way that it works when it's using the quick swap housing is the blade rotates on the gear here. So as it goes down, it'll pick up, rotate, and start cutting again. Whereas like a fine point blade just kind of goes, and then the blade turns and drags. So you don't get the pickup and as precise a cut with this type of tool as you do with the rotary tool. So that's why the rotary tool works so great on fabric.
Excellent, Kesley, and we are right at noon.
Wow.
I know that went it went really fast. I have to say, it went super fast, and I hope everybody got everything that they needed. Please, if you didn't get all, I know that people are asking more, like how do you use the mat, and how do you do all these other things. And our next class that is offered in about an hour will definitely answer all of those questions. It takes this learning from the introduction to all the machines and what all the machines do. Our next class is a design space orientation. So that will take you into the software and teach you all about how the software works, and then how the information goes from the software to the machine, and how you cut and apply. So Kesley will teach you all of that as well. I think Lindsay has added the links to the different classes that are available. If you are having any trouble finding them, if you go to michaels.com/classes, you will see this class today. And then we have a class that we offer every Monday. If you miss one, there's always one to sign up for.
And you can always, Joy, watch the recording. If you miss a class, you can catch the recording on the Michaels YouTube channel. So that's, if you watch the class and you're like, I want to watch that again. How did they do that? It's great to go back and watch those classes and get all the different ideas, because each class is different. It's never the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'd love to see what you guys are creating. So if you want to hit me up, I'm on Instagram at kesley.365. And I'd love to see what you're making.
Kesley will also give you good tips and tricks too.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Kesley. And we hope to see as many of you as possible in our additional classes. And this fall, we're going to have tons of classes packed with projects. Kesley's going to show tons of projects. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody enjoy your Monday.
Thanks, guys.